If you want to buy cheap, reliable NBA 2K19 MT, please go to dvdj.com, use the code CRUSH, and if you're not familiar with the process, you can contact them on Twitter. Both links will be in the description. What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're going to be doing the Grizzlies off-season predictions. So we're doing the lottery teams right now, and then we're going to go to the playoff teams as they're eliminated. So those people that have been telling me to do a certain team and they've been playoff teams, I'm not doing them just yet, just because I'm waiting for them to get eliminated first, and then I'll do them the day after they're eliminated. That way it just flows nice, you know what I mean? So as far as the Grizzlies offseason, I really don't know where this team is going to go. There's one thing I can't predict, is that Mike Conley will be traded. I think that is something that we can definitely expect to happen. As far as everything else for this team, I have no idea, just because the trade they made for Marc Gasol didn't really help them future-wise. They got Jonas Valanciunas, Delon Wright, who are kind of in their prime ages, I would say, or entering their prime ages, if those two even have a prime. But DJ Miles, you got him as well. And really, this team just, it's a bunch of different ages just packed together. You really don't know where this team is going with their roster. So I'm going to do my best to try to predict what the Grizzlies are going to do, but I have a bad feeling that this might not be that great of predictions, just because, like I said, the Grizzlies are everywhere as far as their the top 11 picks down to no, okay, never mind. League meetings, get rid of that. But yeah, as far as the Grizzlies, I just don't know, man. Like, we'll have to wait and see for sure, but we're not going to have our pick, I don't think. I think the Celtics are going to have it, so that's going to suck for Memphis as well. But I don't know, guys. Like, it's really gonna be, JB Bickerstaff has been fired. I don't think Memphis has hired a new head coach. I really don't. I'm going to fact check that real quick though, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they've hired a new head coach, because I have not. Either I don't remember, or I haven't heard anything about it. So let me go check that real quick, and we'll get back into this video. A whole lot of news on the Grizzlies head coaching candidate. So I'm really just going to hire Jacob Underwood, and I don't know, they might get Tyronn Lue in real life. If he's not hired by the Lakers, they could get Monty Williams also. I don't know, but they could even hire Jerry Stackhouse as their head coach. I know some people think he deserves a chance, I believe, but I'm not going to worry about it too much, because like I said, the Grizzlies, there's not a whole lot of rumors about it, or maybe I'm just not good at looking on the internet. Anyway, so we have Chandler Parsons, terrible contract still. I really don't see a team taking that on. Even if it is 1 year, like one team taking that, you would have to offer something pretty significant. And there's no way you can offer Mike Conley and Chandler Parsons in the same deal. Their contracts are way too massive. You'd have to offer like Jaren Jackson Jr. in order to make this trade work. So I'm not going to be doing that, obviously. But one player I will try to trade is Mike Conley. I don't know if they're going to try to do it before the draft or after the draft or what, or whenever they're going to do it. But Mike Conley is going to inevitably be traded this offseason. Now, where he goes, I have a few places in mind. We got a place like the Pistons, which I think the Pistons should be all over it. And that's like what my gut is telling me, that the Pistons are going to be all over trying to get Mike Conley, just because that would be a perfect fit next to Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond, I believe. So I'm going to do something like this, and to where we could either trade him to Utah, because Utah was interested, and maybe Utah could snag him. But Utah doesn't, like, if I'm the Grizzlies GM, I'm not looking at Utah like a team that has a lot of assets that I want, you know. So if we go to the Pistons, and we go to we go ahead and offer Mike Conley in here, and Pistons players, so we got Andre Drummond, Blake Griffin. Obviously I don't think that's gonna work. Reggie Jackson I think would have to be in this deal, so that's fine. We're gonna get Reggie Jackson for a year. And one player I think the Grizzlies will want is Luke Kennard. Now, I don't know if the Grizzlies or the Pistons will be willing to part ways with Luke Kennard, just because he has started to come around a little bit. And he did have, like I said, he's been pretty good. Actually, these stats are wrong. I was about to say, I thought he had a lot more points than that. These stats are wrong. But yes, he's been pretty good. But as far as everything is concerned, I think if the Grizzlies or the Pistons are going to get Mike Conley, it will have to cost them Luke Kennard. And Pistons fans might be like, no, I'm not doing it. But in this video, I think the Pistons might have to be desperate enough in order to do something like it, because they really don't have a choice. They got to get something. And They're really in a bad position because if they come back with the same roster next year, nothing's happening for them. I'm sorry, but they're able to pick up like Mike Conley. We get Luke Kennard. Memphis was willing or to get if Memphis got Luke Kennard and he's still playing the way he is today, I think that would be great. So you got Reggie Jackson, Mike Conley for Luke Kennard, and Langston Galloway. I think this trade is somewhat fair. I think it gives the Pistons what they need, and I think it gives the Grizzlies a piece to start to rebuild. And Luke Kennard, I don't know if he'll ever become a star by any means. If you could want their 15th pick, maybe you can get that. Maybe that's a little too much. Maybe in a later like top 10 protected pick or something like that. Let's see if they'll take this. They don't like it. They want Kyle Anderson, and they give us John Lure, which is going to be a lot of expiring deals that we're getting in return besides Luke Kennard, which is fine. So we'll give them Kyle Anderson. I don't know why they would be interested in Kyle Anderson, but you know what? More power to you. They want an unprotected pick from us. If I'm the Grizzlies, I'm definitely not trading my unprotected pick. That is just not happening. So let's try to just go back to this straight up. No picks involved. They want Kyle Anderson. I really don't see Kyle Anderson being involved in a trade like this because I don't think well, maybe I could. He's 25 years old. So actually, we're going to do this trade. We're going to get Reggie Jackson, Luke Kennard, Langston Galloway, and John Lure. So this is going to be the start to a beautiful rebuild for the Memphis Grizzlies, getting Luke Kennard, who hopefully can become a very nice piece for the future. Some Pistons fans might be like, no, we're not trading Luke Kennard. And, that's fine. I could definitely see the Pistons not wanting to do that. But as far as I don't know, I just and I think Reggie Jackson does have a good chance of being bought out by Memphis because I feel like Memphis Grizzlies will want to resign DeLon Wright just because he did play so well. But we're gonna skip over the draft because we really don't have a draft pick to be worried about. They take this guy in the second round. Probably not gonna worry about him too much. Jonas Valanciunas accepts his. We got Avery Bradley on a terrible team option. I'll probably decline his. TJ Miles did accept his in real life as well, so makes sense. Ivan Robb, Dylan Brooks. Definitely, they definitely missed Dylan Brooks this year. DeLon Wright, of course, we want this guy back, 27 years old. Hopefully, we can get him back. Salary cap table, negative $31.37 million in cap space. I'm just going to go ahead and renounce a lot of these guys. I think they would be wanting to re-sign Bruno Caboclo as well. Justin Holiday, I think he should go elsewhere just because this team is about to enter a beautiful, like I said, a beautiful rebuild where they can't do a whole lot. So, look at how much money this team is about to have after the season, though. Jaren Jackson Jr. and Luke Kennard is a good foundation, I think, to start to build off. Jonas Valanciunas, you got to decide what you want to do with him. But this team is set up for a beautiful future. Like, you really have a lot of money coming to you after this year. So, but that's going to change here in a little bit once we resign some players. So, Bruno Caboclo and DeLon Wright, I think, should be on the top priorities of Memphis's list. Bruno Caboclo did have a few good games here and there, and I think maybe he's starting to break out a little bit with Memphis. So, let's go after our guys that we want. DeLon Wright, I feel like, is going to be resigned by Memphis. Get him through his prime. Maybe you can get something, or I wouldn't say his prime necessarily, but get him while you can. And then as far as Bruno Caboclo, I would sign him as well to like a 3-year, 4-year, $16 million deal, 4-year, like $4 million a year, which isn't a bad contract by any means. So we signed both of them. That should be good. And available players, that's not what I want. Overall, as far as overall, Memphis is not going to be a huge factor in free agency. I'm sorry if you're a Grizzlies fan, but I just have a feeling they probably won't be able to get anyone. Well, I wouldn't say anyone, but probably won't be getting after those big name free agents or anything. So, like I said, we're going to start to see Memphis enter a beautiful kind of rebuilding stage of their team. So, if you sign DeLon Wright and Bruno Caboclo up, that should be good. I really do expect Bruno Caboclo to be a starter next year, possibly for Memphis, as they do look to trade Mike Conley and all that. Maybe not because Dylan Brooks will be back and maybe you want to start him. I don't know. We'll have to see what Memphis wants to do, but as long as we get those two, I think that's fine. And then we look at the roster now. We have Reggie Jackson and DeLon Wright. Like I said, I could see Reggie Jackson being bought out by Memphis just because, maybe Reggie Jackson wants to do something else and they want to start what's his name? DeLon Wright. So I could definitely see a situation where the Grizzlies bought out Reggie Jackson, but I'm just going to keep him on the roster and then probably start DeLon Wright over him. So negative 4.76, and then this is what I was doing. So we got the Reggie Jackson and DeLon Wright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and oh wow, that's horrible. 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, 9. Okay, so we do have a rotation that I'm comfortable with playing, but as far as what I want to do here real quick, Dylan Brooks, he goes up to a 77 at small forward. Bruno Caboclo, is he a shooting guard or a small forward? He is a small forward. He's 6'9". Definitely want to keep him at the small forward spot. Dylan Brooks, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with him. Maybe I'll bring him off the bench slowly and then start him eventually, but I'm not sure what I want to do with him. And then Jaren Jackson Jr., of course, is going to be the starter. Ivan Robb is going to back him up. And then we'll have Dylan Brooks and then probably Bruno Caboclo getting those minutes. And then Luke Kennard and Langston Galloway. We'll probably get a backup shooting guard real quick or a backup center, and then we'll call it good. So as far as a backup shooting guard that wants to come to Memphis, I don't know. Maybe you could sign Tony Allen. No, I'm just kidding. Reggie Bullock, Jordan Crawford. Just maybe go get like a guy that's kind of been given up on at this point, like Alex Abrines or something like that. I mean, there's just teams that, you know, sign players that feel like they've been given up on. Like Joe Harris, for instance. Like, he wasn't anything for a while, and then, you know, Brooklyn took a chance on him, and he ended up being pretty damn good. So something like that is possible. You can get JaVale McGee, Brook Lopez, but it just doesn't really fit the timeline of the team. We could sign Thomas Bryant, but I expect the Wizards to be all aggressive in getting him back. Rashawn Holmes, 25 years old. I could definitely see Memphis being interested in him off the bench and possibly being a good piece going forward. But other than that, guys, that's what Memphis is going to be about this offseason. It's really going to be about the rebuilding process, trading Mike Conley, and then they go from there, basically. So I do expect DeLon Wright to be a starter next year. He did have some triple doubles at the end of the season, so I'm definitely expecting him to start. Then Luke Kennard, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Jonas Valanciunas. You know, that's not a bad starting five. It's pretty decent, and I really like. I think Memphis would have to be forced to re-sign DeLon Wright as well, because that's what they got for Marc Gasol, and they don't want that. Oh wait, I don't know why I just loaded 2020 draft class, but oh well. But they don't want to make that trade look like they did it for nothing. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give untapped potential to Dylan Brooks and Luke Kennard, because those are two young players I want to start to break out. Oh, Luke Kennard, that's what I meant to do. Okay, and then we'll start. They want to start CJ Miles. You got me messed up. 9-man rotation. I want Reggie Jackson coming off the bench for DeLon Wright. That's gonna happen right now. 20 minutes for Reggie Jackson. I'll fix it in a second. But CJ Miles, I want getting no minutes. So let's trade that for Bruno Caboclo right now, because I want Bruno Caboclo getting those minutes, because yes, he's been good in real life. So DeLon Wright, Luke Kennard, Bruno Caboclo, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jonas Valanciunas, Dylan Brooks, Rashawn Holmes, Reggie Jackson, Ivan Robb. That is the 9-man. I want 9 players I do want to play. Now, I want to look at Bruno Caboclo's three-point shot real quick, because I have no idea what it's looking like. Where is he? He's all the way down here. So Bruno Caboclo, he's got a C three-point shot, so, you know, not too shabby. But I don't know if I want to start Bruno Caboclo or have what's his face come off the bench, or Dylan Brooks start. So I think I'll just leave Dylan Brooks starting for now, and then we'll figure it out from there. But like I said, I probably will maybe stop and trade Reggie Jackson to the trade deadline, because he is a player that really not important to this team going forward. He's going to be expiring, and he may have a little bit of value left in him. We'll see. I'm gonna simulate to the end of the season. Probably stop the trade deadline real quick, and then we'll make a move to get rid of him probably. So let's see what happens. Let's see how this team does. This improved player goes to Jaren Jackson Jr. This is what I want to see. I want this guy to break out. I want this Memphis Grizzlies roster to notice some star power over here in Memphis. So looking pretty good. All NBA first team, here it is. Looking pretty good. All NBA second team, All NBA third team, and all defensive first team, and all NBA or defensive second team. All rookie first team, we had no one probably, because I don't think we had any rookies, or important ones anyway. And obviously we weren't making playoffs, which that was kind of expected at the end of the season. Or I did end up buying out Reggie Jackson. There just wasn't a big offer for him. So like I said, buying out Reggie Jackson, kind of expected, and he'll go sign with contender. But as far as everything else, you're gonna have a lot of expiring contracts. I did extend Rashawn Holmes. I did extend Dylan Brooks and Ivan Robb and Javon Carter, just because I wanted to stick them around. But you're gonna have a ton of cap space. Not that Memphis is a huge free agency destination, but as far as drafting guys and stuff, you're gonna have a lot of money to like re-sign your dudes and all that. So it's looking pretty good for Memphis. I think Memphis, if they're able to trade Mike Conley for a decent package, Hopefully a better package than they got from Marc Gasol, which it should be. They'll be fine. I think they'll be just fine. And Memphis is going to be starting a rebuild probably this offseason. They kind of avoided it a little bit, but it's time to do it. It's time to do it. Time to trade Mike Conley. He was supposed to be traded at the trade deadline, but it didn't happen. Now, is Detroit going to get him? I have no idea, but we'll have to wait and see. I think Detroit makes a lot of sense. I think there's some other teams that makes a lot of sense too. In order to get Mike Conley, maybe even Phoenix would be interested if they want to get a win now point guard, because Devin Booker's tired of not making the playoffs. Mike Conley doesn't really fit the timeline of the team, but they might be desperate enough to get him. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely leave a like if you enjoyed. Crush Bulls. Peace.